Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
Boing.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me.
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude.
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
Oh, listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we're into the second hour. Barbecue Central show, blah, blah, blah. Still to come on this show tonight, the Embedded Correspondents, Doug, John, Rusty, and Matt. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms, Facebook and Twitter /BBQ Central Show. Also over on YouTube /@BBQ Central Show. There is a robust chat going on and a new YouTube poll question of the week. We're asking everybody, do you have a Sam's Club membership, yes or no? And it's swung back the other way. Now 42% of you are saying no. It was literally just the other way 2 or 3 minutes ago where the yeses were winning. It's a tug of war through the first 68 minutes, almost 69 minutes. Still to come on this show, I already said that. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less this coming Friday, episode 336, taking you back to May 27, 2008. There is one leg of the Triple Crown left. Horse racing, the Belmont Stakes, so why not trot out the official horse race expert of the show, Harry the Horse. You will hear this Friday. Harry made a number of appearances on the show in the early years, earning him a spot in the inaugural Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame back in 2018. Maybe you didn't know that. In this episode, we were talking about the horse sensation of the time, Big Brown, one of the most anticipated horses in 20 or 25 years, and have a chance at winning the Triple Crown. I'm not here to go out of my way to prove my pal John Solberg wrong. And maybe he doesn't think I listen to these shows before I post them, but I'm not going to tell you what happened back in 2008 if Big Brown won the Belmont and then the associated Triple Crown or not. Go back and YouTube it, loser.
Get that big stuff out of here.
I'm not going to ruin it for you. Live that joy yourself, or live that misery yourself on the YouTubes. I'm not here to destroy it for you. You can subscribe to the show by visiting the website, thebbqcentralshow.com/subscribe. And if you would like to hear a guest or segment again that you think's been lost in the archives, email John and let him know what you would like to hear. And that's John, Jon, at thebbqcentralshow.com. This past weekend, the famous Dave's All-Star Barbecue Challenge Series flew into San Jose, California. Give me a second. I checked for this the other week, and then, all right, good. They are posted. And winning is Big Daddy's Barbecue. And reserving is Old Greenwood Barbecue. Hey-o! Both the GC and RGC have earned spots to the 2024 World Food Championship in the barbecue division out there in Indianapolis, Indiana in November. So we wish them good luck. And the next Famous Dave's All-Star Barbecue Series event will be coming up this Saturday, June 1st. In the gambling mecca of the country, Las Vegas, Nevada, where also prostitution is legal. That's what I heard. It's been full for weeks, so there's no open spots. There actually are still 2 contests that have 1 spot left. The second, El Paso, Texas, which is on August 3rd, and then the last one on August 24th in Columbia, Maryland. Both have 1 spot left, so if you're looking to get onto this Famous Dave's All-Star Barbecue Series, you have to go to one of those 2. Everything else is full. Now, I wanted to mention it in the first hour, but I ran out of time, and I'm quickly running out of time here. Actually, I should do this instead.
A Barbecue Central Show exclusive news update.
Greg Rempe reporting from the breaking news desk here in Cleveland, Ohio, the city that breaks the most live fire breaking news across the country. Nay, the globe. And I'm here to tell you this, show programming note for next week, there will not,
Andrew, you are
not have a live show next week. There will be no live show next week. There won't. We will not do it live.
We'll do it live.
No, we will not do it live.
We'll do it live.
Bill, not live. However, like last summer when I missed a few shows, there will be fresh, new content, new to you, in the podcast feed. It will show up on Wednesday, where you will hear a interview with a guy who I'd been trying to land for the better part of 487 years, Chef John Tizar. That is going to blow your mind. I'm really excited for you to hear it. John really speaks his mind on a lot of topics. And I'm also excited for you to hear it because on Thursday, you will hear Chunk Foods. Amos Golan will show up, the CEO and founder of Chunk Foods, and we will talk about what I feel is the current best non-beef alternative if you're looking for that kind of thing. Both are about an hour and change, so plenty of content. That's new in the feed next week. So don't email me on Wednesday or Thursday wondering, but it's all going to be in there. It's just, didn't happen on Tuesday night. But it's brand new content. It's exciting content. Some of it is salacious in that first one on Wednesday with John Tizar. And if you hate non-beef options, then Thursday is going to be mega salacious. Either way, don't worry. No live show next week, but new content nonetheless. And I've almost made it on time. We're a little late, but don't worry. We'll catch up. I'm looking into the switcher here. This is weird. Anyway, are you tired of settling for mediocre grilling experiences? Of course you are. It's time to step your game up.
Step your game up.
Thank you, Floyd. Pitts and Spitz charcoal grills offer the highest quality live fire cooking experience you can get in the market today. Using either wood or charcoal, their solid fuel grills produce those classic flavors you're looking for when you have the time to fire up the grill and cook for family and friends. With a large adjustable fuel tray, you can raise and lower the fire to control and fine-tune the heat. They're taking the very popular Santa Maria style grill. Check them out at pitsandspitz.com/BBQ Central. That's pitsandspitz.com/BBQ Central, and then use promo code Charcoal Central, all one word, for $150 off any charcoal grill that they sell. Once again, Pitts and Spitz with a double T on the Pitts and the Spitz.com/BBQ Central. If only I had a Pitts and Spitz grill, I would have used that yesterday too, because I use everything else. I even used Doug's dust as a finishing dust on the ribs, if you can believe it. Steve said they were great. Look how excited that maniac is. We'll get to him here in just a sec. Pitsandspitz.com/BBQ Central Show. Pitsandspitz.com/BBQ Central Show. It's the Embedded Correspondents, or at least 75% of them. Stick around. I'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet, currently available in 3 sizes with a host of accessories. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a professional, it's a cooker you want to add to the arsenal regardless. Visit barrelcooker.com. Tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you. I'm sure they would hook you up with a very special free gift if you told them the Barbecue Central Show sent you. All right, it's the fourth Tuesday of a month, and that can only mean one thing in the second hour. It's the Embedded Correspondents, as I punch up their sound, and there they are. Well, can everybody stand by just for 1 second? Let me see something. Matt, are you there? Yeah.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Now, just in case, I do have that ready to go, but there's no Matt, guys. I don't know where our Tennessee embedded correspondent is. Perhaps due to some unforeseen circumstances and a terrible set of events, our old Tennessee embedded correspondent, Steve Ray, has kidnapped and murdered Matt Osmond. Let's hope not.
Get that big stuff out of here.
I am only left to my own devices and think of the worst scenarios that could possibly happen when somebody no calls and no shows. Of course, that sits just fine with me. Nobody's going to get any retribution. Nobody's going to get any stern words or anything like that going forward. It's a older, milder Greg Rempe. 10 years ago, I'd be going off my rocker. But no. We have so much more important stuff to get to. So why not have at it? Before we get there, just to the right of me is the longest running embedded correspondent from Texas, Doug Scheiding. And then below me is the second longest running correspondent from Michigan, John Solberg. And the third running longest correspondent from the great city of Utah, Rusty Monson. And as luck would have it, because the ears must have been burning, it is the new correspondent from Tennessee, kind of, Matt Osmond, who's quick, like, I don't know. Matt, like, did you not know it was Tuesday at 10:14? Like, you didn't know this was going to happen? I talked to you last night on text message, and you didn't tell me you were going to, like, what are you doing over there? Motherfucker. But we have Assurity Questions to get to. So, whenever Matt decides to jump in, we'll go ahead and get his thoughts on whatever question we're wondering. And to start off, I have a secret Assurity question that sounds something like this. Doug, 100% yes or 100% no? Rusty Monson has quit the Pitmasters podcast. Yes or no?
I know nothing about this, but I'm going to say yes.
Okay, Doug, Mr. Negativity. John, Rusty has quit the Pitmasters podcast. Yes or no?
100% no.
Matt, can you hear me? This motherfucker. Let's go to me. Rusty has quit the Pitmasters podcast. What do I think? I'm going to go no. Okay. Well, let's go to the man himself. Rusty Monson, 100% yes or 100% no? Rusty has quit the Pitmasters podcast.
I have officially quit the Pitmasters podcast.
Finally. What happened? Who broke up with who? And give out all the gory details, because this is headline news starting tomorrow.
I'm busy at work. I thought that running two trucks would give me some time. It does not. I am burning it all. It is. Everyone needs to understand that I have not missed an episode of this show ever.
Right.
That is a miracle beyond miracles.
You were in the emergency room and you didn't even miss an episode.
Exactly.
Thank God.
But at the same time, it's not a lot of work. It's just enough to make it so I have to worry about a little bit. It was becoming something that I was kind of moving away from it anyway. And I decided to just kind of pull the plug on it and focus on my food truck podcast, which, by the way, I've missed a few episodes of that too. But just to kind of get that out of my headspace, I can focus on what I need to focus on and let Anthony will continue to do the Pitmasters podcast. He'll continue to push on with that. And who knows, I might come back on, but as of right now, I have no intention of doing that. There might be a chance I do something down the road.
Wow. Follow-up questions on this breaking news. Doug, 100% yes or 100% no. You will now be the fill-in host for Pitmasters podcast like you are for baseball and barbecue. Yes or no?
No.
No? John, yes or no on Doug?
No. The Anthony's ego's not going to let that happen.
Rusty, is Doug the fill-in host from here forward?
When we say no, we mean yes. That's how it goes with the baseball podcast. It's how it's going to go with the Pitmasters podcast.
That's right. Matt, Doug is going to be the new co-host of Pitmasters podcast.
I'm going to go yes.
Yes. Oh, very positive. I'm going no. Doug is way too busy. It's a hard time hosting baseball and barbecue by himself with the sometime co-hosts Len and Jeff, let alone to host yet a third podcast. He'd be a Sean Walchef for crying out loud. Nevertheless, here's the second follow-up to that. Doug, back to you. Rusty's Food Truck podcast on thin ice will be done in 6 months or less. Yes or no?
No.
Positive. John?
No.
No. Matt?
Not a chance.
I'm going yes. Rusty, yes or no, your food truck podcast will be out in 6 months or less.
No, that one's too easy to do and too much fun.
Too much fun. All right, next question. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no, you're shocked that the Shed won Memphis in May this year.
Unfortunately, I'm not.
John, you're shocked that the Shed won Memphis in May.
100% not shocked.
Doug?
I'm going triple no.
Almost to unanimous. Rusty, you're shocked that the Shed won Memphis in May.
100% yes.
Almost unanimous. I will make it a majority. A sweeping majority, but not... Wait. No. Doug, am I wrong again? Right. I'm going to make it a sweeping majority, but not unanimous. I couldn't be less surprised that I couldn't be less. Wait, I am not shocked. That's what I'm trying. Wow. Maybe we should just start the segment over again. Everybody can come in on time, and there we go. All right, so Rusty's the outlier here, and we move to the next one. John, 100% yes or 100% no. If they weren't before, the Shed, now with their third overall grand championship at Memphis in May, has to be considered one of the greatest barbecue teams ever.
100% no.
Rusty, one of the greatest teams ever?
100% yes.
We're already competing. Doug, 100% yes or 100% no. The Shed has to be considered one of the greatest barbecue teams ever.
Ever. That's overall, not just Memphis in May.
That's right.
I would say no.
Matt, the Shed has to be considered one of the greatest barbecue teams ever.
100% no.
All right. Before I answer, Rusty, do you need to change? Did I give you the right information or not enough?
No, I'm good, man.
All right.
I'm solid. I'm solid.
Once again, I agree with everybody else but Rusty. No. Next question. 100% yes or 100% no. Rusty, you are shocked that Smoke Masters won Smoke Slam.
No, I'm not shocked. Who the hell knows who's going to win that one?
Matt, surprised the Smoke Masters won Smoke Slam.
100% no.
John, you are 100% shocked that Smoke Masters won Smoke Slam.
100% no.
Douglas.
100% no.
I'm going to go no, just because I want to have I want to have unanimous. Here's the better question. that nobody knew about. 100% yes or 100% no. You knew who Smoke Masters was before Smoke Slam. Doug, yes or no?
Surprisingly, no.
John?
Hell no, I never heard of him. I never heard of him until just now.
Matt?
100% yes.
Rusty?
No.
Nope. Greg? Smoke who? Never heard of Smoke Masters in my life. Never.
Will Hair, man.
Oh, that made it better.
That's one of the most intelligent.
Thank you. Next question. Doug. 100% yes or 100% no. Smoke Slam, more like Smoke who?
Yes.
John.
Yes, because I don't even know how to answer this question.
Rusty, Smoke Slam, more like Smoke who?
Exactly. Yes.
Matt?
90,000% no.
And in an odd twist of fate, I'm also going to agree with Matt. No. Little leading on that question, but Smoke Show, I believe, has cemented itself in some way. We can dig deeper into that here in just a second. We have a few more questions here before we get to the Hall of Fame stuff. Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. You would much rather have pocketed the $90,000 that a team named Smokes Masters did at Smoke Slam this month than win the overall grand championship at Memphis in May this month.
I would rather win the grand championship.
At?
Oh, Memphis in May.
Okay. Doug, 100% yes or 100% no. You would have rather pocketed the $90,000 that Smoke Masters did. Sorry, and also grand championship at Smoke Slam this month than win the overall grand championship at Memphis in May this month.
100% no.
Oh. Matt, money?
Yes.
John?
All day, give me the money. Memphis and what? It's over.
By the way, I'm agreeing with Matt and John.
Here comes the money.
Show me $90,000 in my bank, Polly. Doug, you shake your head in disdain and indignance. Why?
That money will be gone, especially with the 20 members of Smoke Masters. It'll be gone very quickly.
Yeah, but dude, this shed had 748 team members. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true. The shed has actually won 3 out of the last 9 years, believe it or not.
I believe
I went back and looked, but that's,
I believe it.
That's pretty amazing. But no, it's just the notoriety of getting the world championship. That's be more money to them, I think, in the long run.
Rusty,
they can make it into more money.
Go ahead, Rusty.
That's what I was going to say, what Doug just said. If you're an entrepreneur-minded person, you could take that Memphis and May win and turn it into more than 90,000 eventually.
How?
By using product placement, all that stuff. It'd probably get you on TV shows. You could come up with your own rubs, sauces, different things like that. You can promote yourself a lot easier when you win an established contest like that, especially Memphis and May. It kind of puts you on the map a little bit. You can use that for marketing and branding. Like, it's probably one of the best marketing and branding tools in all of barbecue.
Go ahead, Matt.
All right, so I concur with that, except when you already have such an established name in the industry, and one more, until they get with Myron and Chris and they're on the hunt to see who's going to go there, in my opinion, it's just one more. What more can they get from 3 or 4-time world champion over here doing this when you already have that notoriety? To somebody who's never won it, it puts you on the map. That's where the gusto is.
Go ahead, Doug.
And that's the way I took the question. I've won. I've earned more than 100,000, 90,000, whatever you want to call it, since winning the world championship.
All right. Next question. John, back to you. 100% yes or 100% no. Between those two events, that being Smoke Slam and Memphis in May, the Everyday Barbecue and Griller has no idea that either contest took place a few weeks ago.
100% yes. They have no idea.
Matt?
100% yes.
Doug, the Everyday Ham and Egger, has no idea that either event took place a couple weeks ago.
I'm feeling another unanimous yes.
There hasn't been any unanimous. Oh, well, there's only been one. All right, Rusty, yes or no to the Everyday Ham and Egger?
Yes on that one.
Hey, we did it again. Yes. Sad state of affairs. 100% yes or 100% no to Doug. The biggest tragedy in live fire this month was Greg Rempe being left off the final list of 10 for this year's Barbecue Hall of Fame. Yes or no?
No.
Dick. John?
Yes. 100% yes.
Rusty, the biggest tragedy in live fire this month was me being left off the final list of 10 for the Barbecue Hall of Fame.
100% yes.
Thank you, Rusty. Matt?
100% yes.
Alan? What do I think? Yes, of course. The biggest tragedy all month. And we have right at the tail end of the month. So I've had all month to calculate other tragedies in live fire. This one is easily the biggest. Follow-up question. 100% yes or 100% no during the open time frame. You nominated me for the Barbecue Hall of Fame. Doug, yes or no?
No, I did not.
Fucking John, yes or no?
Yes, every year. Every fucking year. Yeah, I'm lifting your balls, right, Doug?
Man, John. Rusty, you nominated me, yes or no?
No, but John, next year remind me and I'll do it.
You and Meathead. Matt, you nominated me.
And John.
Yes.
This year.
Oh, all right. John getting a little love. Look at you. All right. Last one. Then we get into our own Hall of Fame.
Wait. Did you self-nominate? Sir?
No, that's classless. I would never do that. What kind of asshole self-nominates? And we'll leave Meathead out of this. All right, here we go. 100% yes or 100% no. Matt, you like dates. The food.
As in 100% yes.
Rusty, dates?
Yeah, they're delicious, man.
Doug, dates?
Negative, no.
John, yes on the dates?
Yes.
Yes. And we almost had our third unanimous, definitely. I'm new to dates, but man, I'm loving dates. They're a superfood. I have no idea how they can be because they taste way too good and way too sweet and way too unhealthy. But boy, oh boy, they are just wonderful. All right, so hang loose just for a second here, boys, while I do a quick piece of business. Then we'll talk about our Barbecue Hall of Fame stuff. If you're in the chat right now, get ready to weigh in on your own stuff, and we'll try and figure out where everybody else is. 55% of you are currently saying that you do not have a Sam's Club membership. We'll go around the dais there and quickly talk about that before we do Hall of Fame stuff when we get back. Franklin Barbecue Pits is a going-on, long-time sponsor of this show, which we certainly appreciate. Look, as of yesterday, we're in the teeth of barbecue and grilling season. If you're looking for an offset pit, you haven't made your mind up yet, then what are you waiting for? Let's go together and pick up a Franklin Barbecue Pit. What you have with the Franklin Pit is a deeply thought out and refined version of the old propane-style cooker that Aaron built for his restaurant, Franklin Barbecue. Stylistically, it reflects the kind of bare-bones industrial handmade aesthetic that he loves, as in the patina and the way it allows you to see the welds in the craftsmanship. Everything that a Franklin Barbecue Pit is made out of is heavy-duty, 5/16 and quarter-inch thick American-made steel. Anything that sees heat engineered to be incredibly solid, should last a century or more if cared for properly. Even if it's not cared for that properly, there's a really good chance it's going to be around for like 100 years. The thickness of the steel guarantees professional-grade heat retention, a critical component to making great barbecue. Every Franklin pit unique unto itself, which includes its own natural markings and its own badge number. 1 of 1, 58 of 58, so on. If you, the listener of this show, want to own a Franklin barbecue pit and you don't live near a certified Franklin dealer, you can go to franklinbbqpits.com and purchase a pit. Franklin Pits will ship a Franklin pit right to the bottom of your driveway. If you are a listener of the show, you own a barbecue supply store and you don't carry a line of premium offset cookers, and you want to become a certified Franklin barbecue pit dealer, which I highly encourage. A number of you got on board as we were doing the recruiting process through the winter. Don't be left out as a certified dealer. Get on the bandwagon. Visit franklinbbqpits.com, fill out the dealer form, have a conversation with my guy, Matt Gase, who's a premium cigar lover, by the way, and pipe smoker, I came to learn. Anybody smoke pipes? He'll get you set up as a dealer, and then we continue to foster and grow the Franklin Dealer Network. franklinbbqpits.com to either become a dealer or to buy a pit because you don't live by a dealer. We're back with more Embedded Correspondents right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
Hey, welcome back. This portion brought to you by JRE Tobacco, makers of Aladino cigars. I was just enjoying a Aladino Cameroon. Not the Cameroon Reserva, which is all Cameroon. Binder, filler, and wrapper. This one is a Cameroon wrapper, but Corojo binder and filler. Delicious. And they have all the other ones too. Sumatra, Corojo Reserva, the classic. If you want some samples, get a hold of me. Greg at the bbqcentralshow.com. Otherwise, it's jerrytobacco.com and find a retailer near you. The good folks over at JRE Tobacco. All right, guys, welcome back. And before we get into the Hall of Fame stuff, let's ask the poll question of the week, which I forgot to do. And a number of people in the chat want to know where you guys lay out. You have a Sam's Club membership, yes or no? Doug?
No.
John?
No.
Rusty?
I own a barbecue food truck, so you have to. It's very required.
Matt, yes or no?
I too own a barbecue food truck, and I own 2 memberships.
Oh, 2. Look at you.
Business and pleasure.
I do not. So that almost puts us at a 50-50, and 53% of the voting public now are saying they do not. No, I'm going to reserve my Tourette's there just for a second. They do not own a Sam's Club membership, but higher than I thought. Barbecue Hall of Fame stuff. As I had mentioned last week, we found out who the class of 2024 was. That being BBQ, Daniel Bennett, Rick Brown, Steve Grotti. Some people say Steve Grady, but it's actually Grotti. And Ed Moore and Fast Eddie, legend on this show, of course, barbecue legend in general, but for the folks that aren't as steeped in the barbecue nerddom as I am, and perhaps some of us are, maybe you haven't heard that name. So that's who made it in. What I wanted everybody to do was this. Make 2 lists. List number 1 that we're going to go over, and I said, you got to be honest. Don't lie. Don't make yourself look good. Nobody's really about that anyway, except for Matt. So here's what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to put a list together of members that you think the living members we're going to put through, and then separately make a list of the 4 people you would like to see in the Barbecue Hall of Fame. So we will start with our pal Rusty from the great city of Utah. Rusty, who did you think the living members of the Barbecue Hall of Fame were going to put in? Let's see how accurate you were.
Dave Klaus, Ed Marin. Fast Eddie. Let's just put it that way.
Good.
Steve Grady, but I know I said that wrong because you just mentioned that. This is who I think they would have.
Why listen to
and
me?
Malcolm Reed. Why?
Malcolm Reed, right.
And Malcolm Reed. That's who I thought they would.
You were 50-50. Not too bad.
Yeah. And then I had Malcolm Reed.
Wait.
Jesus.
I hope.
Oh, we're going around.
You just, yes, please wait. Doug, who did you think the living members were going to put in this year?
BBQ.
Oop. Oh, wait. Sorry. That was right. You said Steve Grotti?
Yeah, Grotti.
Okay.
Lucci. He's the Lucci. Ed Fast Eddie, of course. And then I was wrong on the last one. I said they would put in Andy Husbands.
75% is pretty good. Better than we've normally done. John, who did you think they were going to be putting in?
Man, I'm playing 500 ball because I thought they were going to go with Dave, Fast Eddie, Malcolm, and Grotti. So I'm batting 500.
All right, Matt, who did you think that the living members were going to put in?
I had Malcolm Reed, Fast Eddie, Danielle, and Andy.
All right, so you were 25% good. I had the following. Steve Grotti, 25% accurate, yes. I also had Malcolm Reed. Nope. I also had Dave Close. But, the more I think about it, two pit masters or two pit makers, probably not the best odds after I started to really think about it. And then I had somebody that nobody picked, so me showing my 25% correct ass. I had McLeod's Barbecue. I thought they were going to put in a restaurant or a second restaurant. Maybe that was bad thinking on my part as well. So that's who I thought we were going to go. So Doug wins, kind of going away there. Only Rusty and Matt. Rusty and John were batting 500 ball, and Matt and I were batting 25% ball. Now, let's go to the real question that matters. Who do we think independently should have been in the Barbecue Hall of Fame? Last Wednesday when we announced it exclusively here on the Barbecue Central Show at 3 p.m. We'll go and start with John first. John, who did you vote as you would put in?
They're the same as who I thought was going in.
Really? Look at you.
Absolutely. Dave, Malcolm, Grotti, and never forget what's his name.
That's right. Old what's his name. Matt, who did your list change for who you would put in?
It did.
All right.
I had Roy that I would have put in.
Roy Perez?
Wow.
All right. Everybody else stayed the same?
I had one different.
Hold on a second. Matt, everybody else stayed the same on your list?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Can you rename it again for everybody that's tuning in right now?
So, Roy, Malcolm, Andy, and Eddie.
All right. Rusty, who is the list that you would put in by yourself?
I need to be the chair here because these guys are getting it so wrong. Andy Husbands. David Close made a fucking pit out of an airplane. What is your problem?
Right. Can somebody open? You got corn cobs in your ear, son.
And then, of course, another pit maker because both of them are so big in the industry, bigger than almost anyone.
That's right.
And that's Fast Eddie. And then, of course, Malcolm Reed, who is he's the guy, man. He's the guy.
Is that what we say to qualify Malcolm Reed? He's the guy?
That's all you need to say about Malcolm Reed. He's the guy. Everyone knows that.
All right. Doug, your list.
I had the same first three: Danielle, Grotti, Fast Eddie, and I had Malcolm in instead of Andy Husbands.
Do you want to qualify Malcolm more than he's the man or the guy?
Oh, come on. He's a competitor. He is one of the, is he the top YouTuber on yeah, there you go.
Yeah, barbecue and grilling
related. Horse meat, by the way.
That's an illegal shirt. You'll get arrested for that in some cities.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's horse running time, so I got it.
Courtesy of John Solberg, by the way, with the graphics, unless I'm not supposed to say that. Now he's going to be arrested, but go ahead.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
And what's the lady in Seattle that banned the show?
Diane Me.
Diane Me.
How do you forget her?
She'll be happy that I'm wearing this show.
Self-banner.
For the show tonight. Yes. And I had Malcolm in terms of, and YouTube barbecue instruction. He's kind of changed the way barbecuers communicate to the public. I think he was the leader in that, in the YouTube. So I think, and like people were saying, I think last week, how far he's come, from those first videos.
My personal list sounds somewhat like Rusty. Ed Morin. Yes. A guy who once made a pit out of an airplane, Dave Close. By the way, I owned a Close pit for the better part of 4 or 5 years. I think it was either a 42-inch pipe or a 48-inch pipe. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but that was when I first learned how to cook on an offset. I also thought personally the BBQ was going to get in. Yes, and she did. And rounding out my personal list, of course, Malcolm Reed. What are we waiting on? The Right on Cue podcast is in the chat, YouTube. So how is Malcolm Reed not in the Hall of Fame? Of course. I mean, this is a guy that is just on sheer influence alone through YouTube. He is the Sam the Cooking Guy of the Live Fire segment, approaching 2 million YouTube subscribers, blazing that trail. Now, you look at where growth is these days, and YouTube has changed a lot. So if you look at thinking that his popularity has stymied in some way just through the YouTube, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not seeing all the other platforms that they're on and all the other millions of followers that he has across Instagram and TikTok and all. I mean, they're leveraging all the social media platforms. So I feel pretty good that Malcolm Reed is going to be on the 10 finalists list again next year. That will put him on for the third year in a row. And if past performance is indicative of future results, which if we're investing, it does not. So remember that, number one. But in the Hall of Fame, it does appear that there is a 100% return on your investment if you appear on that finals list for the third time in a row. Plenty of people can confirm that. So Ed Moore and Dave Close, Daniel Bennett, and Malcolm Reed were my personal votes. Let's sum it up from a Hall of Fame perspective. If we sit here in 2024, had Rashid Phillips on the show last week. He had some good things to say. He had some things that he would like to see improved. As we all sit here as barbecue experts, do we like the way the Hall of Fame sits now? And if not, what would you like to see changed? Doug?
Well, I disagreed with Rashid. If he had a chance to sit on that board, he needs to sit on the board if he thinks that there's a problem. And
if I can just say, I have no confirmation that he was asked. I was merely floating the question. If you were asked, would you do it? But I don't know that he has been officially asked by any stretch.
Oh, but I thought his answer was almost like a resounding no, that he wouldn't.
Oh, it was a resounding no.
It was too far.
Yes, correct.
That it was too far broken.
Right.
So if you feel that way, be part of the solution, not part of the problem in continuation. So I definitely disagreed with him on that. So I don't necessarily think it's broken, other than I did agree with him that, and I will defend my answer on you from the standpoint out. You and Sterling will not be elected to the Hall of Fame.
Doug, all right, enough already. You haven't kicked me in the balls already tonight. I mean, what do we do?
I'm going to say you are going to win the Impact Award. You are going to kiss you be the best man at the wedding.
Always the bridesmaid.
That's the award that you will get. You will be the bridesmaid. That's my prediction.
All right. John, your thoughts on where the Hall of Fame sits here in 2024?
It sits in a very disappointing state. That's like, I just see as certain members come in, the influence changing. It's become very agendized, in my opinion, as certain members. And I don't want to say anything about any in particular members, but as the Chicago influence continues to strengthen, even with this year's inductees, it's a bunch of bullshit. And it's just going to continue to be that popularity contest going forward.
Do you have any ways to remedy? Or it is what it is?
Have these people come up with a standard like every other freaking Hall of Fame. Come up with a criteria, not just a popular vote backed up by a popular vote of unaccountable people that aren't even in a room. Like, here, who do you like? Okay, then ask the members, who do they like? Come up with a criteria. Let them come up with that and then make it stick.
Rusty, where does the Barbecue Hall of Fame sit with you in 2024? Actually, the way that it sits now, as far as being under the American Royals' purview, is now 12 years old. It started in 2012. So where do you think we sit present day?
I have, besides Guy Fieri, I've never had an issue. I have had one issue with who's been inducted and who's made it. I definitely think you should be on, and I think leaving it up to the public is a little... It's you can argue good and bad, but I think it's great. I think everyone they've picked, I've been happy with. I mean, everyone that's on the nominee list, I've always been happy with. I never have much of an issue with it. I mean, if you want to nominate someone, great. I think that's a good democratic way of doing things, but I don't think it's too bad. I think it's fine, and it's they do a good job with it, and someone's fucking doing it, so that's great. I mean, it's at least we have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to have. Not a lot of, it wouldn't, if it wasn't for the American Royal, it probably wouldn't even be around right now. And I think it's a cool thing. I love all the people that got nominated in. I think it was a really good list this year, and a very good, all four people that got in were excellent, so I think it's good. I don't have any issues with it at all. I think, you can always improve on stuff. Of course, you always can, but it's there. Someone's doing it, and they're not, in my opinion, screwing it up too bad. So thumbs up.
Go ahead, Doug.
Apologize. I said Sterling Smith. I meant Sterling Ball.
You said Sterling
earlier.
Ball, I think.
Okay. All right. Good enough. And I think they're going to fix it because the KCBS, and lo and behold, I'm saying this, that KCBS will get the Hall of Fame right, because I think Sterling Ball is a little bit behind that, which I think will be interesting.
Well, as luck would have it, and no, it's not Sterling Ball in the chat, but it is somebody who knows a little something about competition barbecue and winning. Fred Robles from Rio Valley Meat saying, I think we should have a competition barbecue Hall of Fame and an everything else barbecue Hall of Fame. So we can go ahead and get everybody's thought on that. Rusty, would you like to see the Hall of Fame split into different factions? And by the way, I think the Kansas City Barbecue Society has a KCBS Hall of Fame. It had just inducted, I think, 3 members at the annual conference or whatever that 48 people went to. What do you think about splitting it up to some degree?
I think you have to. It's kind of like racing, and like not all the cars are the same. We don't do the same things. It's a very different ball game when you do when you're doing competition barbecue. It's not what Big Bob Gibson does. It's not all those people. It's not those restaurants that they have. It's a whole different thing. So I think it's a really good idea. Actually, I think it's hard to compare the two.
John, split it.
Brilliant idea. I'm for it.
Brilliant. Doug, split it.
I was actually disappointed when they went away from the categories. So they could have had the categories and then had this is, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and had the categories and then had a couple of 2, 3 at large. So I think that would overcome it.
Right on Cue podcast. Is that that's Heath Riles' show, right?
Logan. That's Logan Chestnut.
Logan Chestnut. All right. Matt, split it or no?
No, and here's can you name one person in the Barbecue Hall of Fame currently that does not also either have a mainstay eatery or another large barbecue contribution? I can't think of anybody immediately who's just a really good comp barbecue cook.
Yes, I can.
Yes.
The guy that started Kingsford. I win. Next question. I mean, he's a little dead, but I mean, he was just charcoal. That was it. He was not a competition barbecue. He did not own a restaurant. Go ahead, though.
Chisholm, Traeger, Joseph Traeger.
Well, I meant that the other way around. Meaning, if I understood you, there's barbecue competitions. So you want really good competitors, successful, right? Or contributions to competitions, and then everything else barbecue. Is that correct?
I can only read what Fred wrote, which says Competition Barbecue Hall of Fame. So I don't know if he's just talking about competitors in a Barbecue Hall of Fame, or if he's talking also about organizers and all the ancillary stuff that would go along with competition.
So look at like Darren, who got in last year, right? I mean, he'd be number one on the competition list, but also has Iowa Smoky D's. So he qualifies for both.
Well, you could have both, I guess, if you wanted to both. Everybody answer that? Yeah. Look, one thing I know is this: splitting up stuff just means that there's more of a fucking headache. Take a look at Texas. They have 75 different sanctioning bodies for competition barbecue. Why can't they just merge into one? Yeah. And what's worse, they're proud of it because they're always proud of weird shit down in Texas. But you can't just keep factioning and factioning. At some point, you want to take what should be a pinnacle, let's call this the Barbecue Hall of Fame, and then really sit down and have a vision for it. I happen to agree with John to a certain point on getting a standard. Now, I can't agree with Doug on getting rid of the categories because there may or may not be tape of me in successive years saying, get rid of the categories, and they eventually did that. But I don't know if I want to see that coming back, but I wouldn't mind seeing some type of standard set where you can then qualify. I don't have a problem with the public nominating names. That's fine, because those names are then taken by an expert panel and then argued for. And that, now, whether you agree with that portion or not, certainly up for debate every year. But having some type of standard to judge all of those people that are being nominated by the general public isn't a bad idea. I don't know what that standard looks like. John, I probably am not speaking for you when I say you probably don't have a standard ready to unveil for the names committee to consider, right? Or no, you have something?
You're correct. I have no framework.
So I would like to see it stay as is, and then continually refined. I think they want to do that. I just don't know how to actually install my hope. If they asked me to be on the names committee, would I be open to it? They would have to ask me, and then I would have to see how I fit. Actually, why not? Last one, boys, before we call it an evening, as we're at the top of the hour. Doug, if asked, you would be on the names committee, yes or no?
Yes, I would.
Oh, Doug? No surprise. Rusty, you would be on the names committee if invited, yes or no?
Yeah, someone needs to talk some sense into those people sometimes.
Matt, names committee, yes or no?
100% yes.
I feel unanimous. John, names committee, yes or no?
Oh, I'm going to break your mojo. Get that weak stuff out of here. No.
Yeah? All right.
No.
I got you.
Do it.
Get that weak stuff out of here. I mean, I have to say yes. If I'm going to potentially criticize ever, then then I want to make sure I'm bringing a potential voice of change to try and better the whole situation. So I will say yes if I was invited. The other thing that I don't think is helping, and maybe it is, I wouldn't mind seeing, if nothing else, some type of term, not limit, but you have to, if you're on the names committee, you have to be on there for 8 years or 5 years. I don't like people being on there for a year or two, and now there's somebody new, and they're there for a year. Robert Moss was on there for a number of years. I didn't know he cycled out. I didn't know Adrian Miller cycled out. I want to know, who. I want to know the beginning of the year who the names committee is, I guess. And that way, at least I have a framework of how I'm going to try and decide how they're voting or how they might argue. So my point is, having a 4 or a 5 or an 8 year term requirement ensures some type of consistency through some type of term instead of having kind of a washout. Anyway, that's the Hall of Fame stuff for 2024. I think most of us agree that whoever was in there got it right. Matt, you have something else to say before I tie it up?
I did.
Yeah, go ahead.
To go along with that and the transparency, I would like to see before the 10, whatever that first list they narrow, and then they narrow it down, the preliminary list.
You want to see the big holding tank list?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I've asked many times. I will continue to ask. Hey, we have a couple minutes for promo. Matt, anything to promote here before I let you go tonight?
2 quick housekeeping. I apologize for the tardiness, and I apologize to Doug for not being at my own trailer at Tom Lee. But nonetheless, when you're on the west side of
Did
Nashville,
you guys see each other in person?
I made the effort, yes.
So you did. All right, good. Hate to think you guys.
No, we did not see each other. I saw his. I took pictures of his trailer. I took pictures.
Oh no!
What do I sent you, Greg?
I did a selfie.
Matt, swift and harsh will be the punishment. Doug, what are we promoting tonight?
My rubs are finally out nationwide. It's on Barbecue Pro Shop. Go to roguecookers.com, go to the shop page, and you can buy all 3 rubs as featured on the Barbecue Central show tonight, as well as on the Oh My God Barbecue Burrito by Sam the Cooking Guy.
And on the label, the Texas Embedded Correspondent for the Barbecue Central show. It says it right here on the label. So if you want a piece of show memorabilia, you can buy 1 bottle of Doug's Dust to use on your food, and then take the other bottle of Doug's Dust and put it in your closet with all your other stupid memorabilia that you collect like a moron. Rusty, what are we promoting tonight?
Well, we're going to be promoting the last episode ever I'm on, anyway, of the Pitmasters podcast coming out on Thursday. But down the road, actually, the Right on Cue podcast, I might be co-hosting that once at least before we meet again. So check that out. And then I swear to you, I promise you this. Yeah. What?
Rusty has quit a podcast, has a new podcast, might be co-hosting a different podcast. I mean, what the fuck are you doing, Rusty?
Just
slow down.
Just for an episode.
I can get you as co-host on Baseball and Barbecue podcast. Come on.
Listen, Doug, I don't have that kind of commitment.
Right. Right.
And then I will be releasing new episodes very shortly of the On the Road, a food truck podcast. That will happen very shortly. It's been nuts. So I will be back on track with those things coming up very shortly.
All kidding aside, Rusty, as long as you're here once a month, you're golden with me. I don't care about anything else except your health.
So far, so good. I haven't missed an episode.
That's right. John, what are we promoting tonight?
Hey, the best moments. You don't want to miss it this week. And then after you listen to that show, go Google up and see what really happened to Big Brown.
We don't know what happened. Nobody knows. It's the mystery of horse racing. All right, there he is. Doug Scheiding just to the right of me and John Solberg just to the right of Doug. Beneath me, Rusty Monson, and caddy corner below in the middle is Matt Osman. Texas and Michigan and the city of Utah and Tennessee embedded correspondents. All right there, gents. Thanks for the time, as always. And we get ready to tie it up here this evening before we call it an evening. Let's learn a little bit about our pals over at Big Papa Smokers. Listen up, gang. I have something special just for you listeners of the show. Whether you're a seasoned pitmaster like Doug and Rusty, John's a seasoned pitmaster, so's Matt, or you're just the backyard ham and egger like me, Big Papa's has something special just for you. From their championship rubs, mouthwatering sauces, essential accessories, they have what you need to take your food to the next level, whether you're on the competition circuit or the backyard. Here's the cherry on top. Big Papa Smokers offering the listeners of the Barbecue Central show an exclusive deal. Use the code REMPE at checkout. That's REMPE. You can get $10 off your next $50 purchase of rubs, sauces, or accessories. Imagine the possibilities. Evaluate your ribs with Big Papa's Sweet Money. Put Big Papa's Desert Gold on your chicken, or better yet, pick up Double Secret and add it to your steak. It's a winner. Head on over to BigPapaSmokers.com and start shopping today. Start saving today when you use promo code REMPE, REMPE, at checkout. You can claim your $10 off your next order of $50 or more. Also, don't forget to check out Big Papa's full line of recipes at cookingwithbigpapa.com. And of course, follow them on all social media platforms, as we just talked about, because I used all show sponsor stuff all day yesterday. We had a mixture of Big Papa's Sweet Money on the ribs, and as they came off, before we put them in our mouth, not sponsored by the way, but Doug's Dust going on top for a little extra zippity zip. And then my homemade barbecue sauce as a glaze. What? You have a homemade barbecue sauce? Yes. If you sign up for the show newsletter on the homepage of the website, all the way at the bottom, as a thank you from me to you, you get my homemade barbecue sauce recipe, which you can then turn and sell on your own. I'm sure a bunch of you have done it. I've got no commission checks on that. That's all right. It's just my way of saying thanks. Hey, let's wrap it up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Let's get back to a guy who has more experience giving you his opinion than he actually has cooking. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Hey, we thank Doug, John, Rusty, and Matt for joining us in the second hour for the venerable Embedded Correspondents segment. Before we get going here this evening, we will finish the poll here. Let's go and end it. The numbers end. The question, do you have a Sam's Club membership? And 54% of you are saying no. Look, it's close enough for me. It's a 50-50. I was secretly hoping for a 50-50 result. That means 50% of you have the ability right now to go to Sam's Club and check out that Members Mark Pro Series grill. Or if you don't like the 5-burner, they have a 4-burner, not as sexy, not as all stainless steely. But if you have it, I highly suggest you go in and check it out. Check out that oven mode button there too. It works great. Not to show my ass here, because I'm not. Right on Cue podcast. This is one that's new to me. I didn't know. So right on cue, you will have a new subscriber in the moments after the show, because I pride myself on listening to all of the barbecue podcasts so I can quickly evaluate things like content, preparation, hosting skills, audio fidelity. You either want me as a subscriber or you don't want me as a subscriber. But nevertheless, right on cue, I'm going to be your next subscriber by 11:30 p.m. Eastern. So you're welcome, or I'm sorry. All the way back in the first hour, James Howe joined me for the first time of what will be at least 3 or 4 more times. Next time we might talk about what it's like to actually do private labeling. How do you contact James? What do you have to bring him? What does cost really look like? Or we might talk about brands that we know that he makes grills for. How about that? That would be great. you might be shocked. Or what about the pressure of taking manufacturing out of China recently? Where is it going to go? More importantly, is it going to come back to the United States? If you were listening in the first hour, gas grills made in China have only been around for the last 24 years. That hasn't been an ongoing thing. They were all made here in the States before they were shipped over east. Incredible information from James. And then after James, Andy Husbands made a reappearance on the show, which was great. Love Andy. SmokeshopBBQ.com. His website, second hour. It was all embedded correspondence all the time. Doug Scheiding from Texas, John Solberg from Michigan, Rusty Monson, great city of Utah, and Matt Osman, embedded correspondent from Tennessee. Remember, so it's not a surprise as you're listening to that this week. Next week, no live shows. But on Wednesday, when you wake up, if you're a podcast listener only, there will be new content on Wednesday, over an hour with John Teasar. And then on Thursday, roughly an hour, maybe a little bit over, with Amos Golan, CEO of Chunk Foods. Both interviews going to blow your mind. Nobody else is doing these kind of interviews, getting this type of top-tier talent and really digging it. That noise you heard on audio podcast was me punching my fist like a man. All right, how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget until the week after next Tuesday when we're back and Better Than Ever Live. How do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. This is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.